checked as it was taken.
But I like that, Barry. I think that's what they've got to do.
I thought that was their best offensive sequence of the game.
Yeah, it was, by far.
Eisenhart, number 13, with that last shot. 3 minutes to go. Hofstra can ill afford to give up another goal here. And picked up some momentum, still trailing 4-0.
Boy, he was close to the out-of-bounds line there.
UMass bringing it down effectively. P.G. Massey, one of their fine defensive middies, brought it across. In fact, Greg was talking about how much respect and confidence he has in that defensive midfield, Bob, before the game to us.
You know, he's got 9 seniors who really kind of gel the last couple of games. They realize that you know, this is their last hurrah, and he really has a lot of confidence with these kids. These kids have really stepped right up and played well.
You know, Mike Candela also, this is a team that felt they should have been invited last year, so that was a little bit added incentive.
Well, I mean, they lost 3 games in overtime, and if you analyze it, that means they tied 3 games because, after all, a sudden death overtime is nothing more than a tiebreaker. So it was really very disheartening for them last year.
I like that, Mike. I like that. It was good. I never thought of it that way.
2:08 to go. Good save by Spruitt as the man got in close. And that last shot from in close by Jim Kennedy, who had scored earlier. So Hofstra looks for a little transition. Mark Spruitt coming up to help on the clear, off to Adam Polanco out of Oceanside High School. Now back to Spruitt. They got to get it across in 10 seconds. And they do. How do you think the high schools ought to go to a rule like that, Bob? You coach high school.
Well, they are going to it. Next year, Nassau County or Long Island's going to go to the NCAA rules. We played up in Darien, Connecticut this year, and it's a little confusing, but it makes for a faster game.
Did you ever notice how the high school coaches resist every change, and then 3 years later they go to everything the colleges are doing because they want their players to be recruited, and they want their players to be familiar with the way the college game is played.
The only problem I see in that is that you have the 10-second rule. Teams that don't have good goalies and good clearing, you're going to find out that instead of work on the stick skills, just going to throw the ball upfield all the time.
But you know, that's no different than a basketball team and having a weak point guard who can't get it over midfield.
Yeah, no, you're right.
All right, gentlemen, want to thank our sponsors bringing you this telecast. Today's game is being brought to you by Hofstra University, where next week they will host the NCAA quarterfinals at Hofstra Stadium. And that should be quite a weekend of lacrosse and NCAA lacrosse. First time in 25 years, really a major event taking place on Long Island. And Mike Candel, you're old enough to remember the NCAA championship when Bob Rule, our colleague, was in goal for Cornell, and Cablevision wasn't even around those days.
You really know how to hurt a guy, Barry.
Actually, Bob Rule was on the sideline pitching rocks because Bob Rule had hurt his knee a couple of games before.
That was 1971, and that was one of the great. I mean, really, I'm happy to say that I saw it because it's very rare that you get to see the first of anything.
And Richie Moran, the coach of Cornell. There you see Richie Moran on the far side, the gentleman with the cup in his hand turning around. He'll be a guest of ours a little bit later on. Jim Cavallo will be chatting with him.
If there ever was an Irish gentleman, Richie Moran's the guy. He is
29 years at Cornell, former Long Island high school coach.
Manhasset coach.
You had to get that plug in.
I had to get that plug in.
And Elmont, and the Long Island Lacrosse Club.
A native of Sewanega High School. Judge finally with that hard shot getting it off.
Look at the ball movement now. This is what they're going to have to do second half. And you know what's interesting, I think? If UMass continues to play kind of that roll the offense, don't press the goal, maybe Hofstra's got a shot the second half to come back.
Here's Alexander up top.
They've got their big guns up top here, the guys who can really move the ball.
Alexander in the open field, drum dropping off quite a bit. They swing it. Nice ball movement here. Langtree trying to dodge. Now working it to Judge up top. Judge with that left-handed shot. Kazalakis expecting the high shot, read it well.
He played catch with him on that one.
Yeah, you got to bounce. You always have to bounce the ball so you get some action on it. Judge threw, I used the old bugaboo. He shot sidearm and gave Kazalakis plenty of time to set up for the shot.
Little transition perhaps here. They'll probably play for the final shot with 35 seconds to go in the quarter.
Well, one thing to UMass, you don't want to give up a goal now. You don't want to give up a cheap fast break. So you're probably real conservative right now.
Bob, you were at the Brown game. I think it was a 1-0 game at halftime.
John had said, John Danowski said, I don't remember a game where we scored just one goal at half and we were ahead. They're ahead 1-0. This year has been a lot of low-scoring games, a lot of good defensive play, and that's why they're thinking of getting rid of maybe another long stick.
I'll tell you, it's like hockey this year. A lot of low scoring. They're beautiful feed on the crease, and they score. What a beautiful feed that time coming from number 9, Gary Costello, and the goal scored by Mike McKeefrey, the young man from Half Hollow Hills West High School. That's my high school on Long Island. And what a huge psychological downer for Hofstra. 6 seconds to go. They give up the goals we see again.
If you look, they're just relaxed. A quick double But the crease guy fell asleep. When you're running that offense like that, you're looking for that back door. That's just what happened then.
I think that goal's a dagger. I really do. It's a dagger in their heart because now Massachusetts gets just another lift going into the locker room.
And remember, as in North Carolina, where it was 10 seconds to go, Hofstra hit the post, and North Carolina came down and scored, which really hurt them badly also.
Procedure penalty against Joe Godina on the face-off. UMass will get it. 6 seconds left. Time to get an opportunity here. Down to 3.
You hear all the coaches yelling, shoot it, shoot it, you have nothing to lose.
Well, a disastrous first half for John Danowski and the Flying Dutchmen on the Modell scoreboard. They trail 5-0. And a quick check of the goal scoring, Mike McKeefrey at 14:54 with the crushing goal. Earlier goal scored by Martins at 4:16. Sushi at 4:30. That was just 14 seconds later. Then Glass at 5:25. Kennedy ended the first quarter scoring to make it 4-0. Here in the second, Mike McKeefrey. It's going to be an uphill battle for Hofstra, and we've seen him come back in other games in the second half, but it's going to be real tough here.
They're going to have to open up on offense and take chances, Barry. That's all there is to it.
All right, so that's the story at halftime. Our colleague Jim Cavallo returns as he chats with Athletic Director Jim Garvey of Hofstra University, and also he'll be chatting with John Perry, the chairman of the NCAA Lacrosse Committee. All coming up after these messages.
This is science. This is technology. This is perfection. This is the human body utilizing science and technology to achieve perfection. This is the Elite Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation Center. Call 737-6767. Strive to become all you can.
For the gold, the new Rebel G. Get the ultimate rush. Mo! Gotta go to Moe's. Gotta go to Modell. Gotta go to Moe's. Modell. Yeah.
You gotta go to Moe's for the new New York Rangers Liberty merchandise. T-shirts, hats, and jerseys featuring the Rangers' new Liberty logo is now available, and only at Modell's. Some items available at the Garden.
Gotta go to Moe's. Gotta go to Modell. Gotta go to Moe's. Modell. Gotta go to Moe's.
This could be your pool. This could be your campus. This could be your library. This could be your studio. This could be your class. This could be your team. This could be your home. This could be your university. This should be your call.
And welcome back to Michie Stadium. We are at a halftime of this men's opening round lacrosse game. And for the past 10 years, this man has been the athletic director at Hofstra University, Jim Garvey. Thanks for being here, Jim. And, you know, kind of an exciting time at Hofstra. Second year in a row, you guys are in the playoffs, third in 5 years. John Danowski's getting the job done.
Well, Jim, Hofstra University is very excited about the lacrosse situation, Long Island being a hotbed. John certainly has our team in the playoffs again. And, of course, hosting next week the quarterfinal round is going to be very exciting.
Let me talk about that. The quarterfinals are coming to Hofstra, and you guys are ready. You've spruced up the place a little bit.
Well, Hofstra Stadium's recently renovated, and, you know, we have room for everybody who wants to turn out. We've had a tremendous advance sale last week, and I'm hoping again next week. Hope everybody gets out really Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Pick up those tickets early because we're anticipating long lines.
And one thing that you know about that Long Island lacrosse crowd, doesn't matter who's playing, when the good teams come and in a playoff like this, the crowds will be there.
Well, you know, you have Princeton, the #1 seeded team in the nation, and Syracuse, who around tournament time are always exciting as the 2 seeded teams. So I think there'll be great games regardless of the pairings.
All right, thank you very much. very much, Jim. Good luck to you Flying Dutchmen there in the second half. Let's welcome in John Parry. He is the executive chairman of the NCAA Lacrosse Committee. And, John, when you look at this game here today, this is kind of an idea of yours or a quest of yours coming through to fruition. It's a neutral site here at the first round, no home team.
Well, I think the concept is to make it fair for every team, also to give the schools a whole year or even more than a year to plan on the site. In the past, the higher seed team got it, but they didn't know till the week before. So Army's had a whole year to prepare. We know the facility will work, and we know the games will be neutral, and the best team will win.
Now, I know Mr. Garvey just said a moment ago they're very excited about the championships, the quarterfinals coming to Hofstra next week. How about that? Lacrosse coming to Long Island. He said it's a hotbed. It is a hotbed of lacrosse, and the people will show up.
No question, and we wanted to keep the games in that corridor ranging from Baltimore up through Long Island, so we're glad to move different versions, and next year the championship will be at Rutgers. So we want to bring lacrosse to this area.
Now, you guys at the NCAA, this is your time of year. I mean, we're here at the opening round today. This is when the juices get flowing as we steamroll towards College Park.
Jim, it's one of the 5 championships that makes money for the NCAA, and one year it outdrew the basketball final, and that's a function of the great lacrosse fans in the northern quarter, the northeast quarter.
Now, as active athletic director, Butler, how's everything over there?
Hey, tied for 19th in the country this year with Harvard. It's only the 5th year of the program. We're bringing some kids from Long Island as well as upstate New York as well as Ohio and Michigan. So it's been fun.
All right, John, thanks for stopping by. He is John Parry, executive director of NCAA Men's Lacrosse. The big second half is coming up. Barry Landers right after this.
Television, it's changing so fast. It's going beyond anything that anyone have thought was possible. Television, the whole world, all within reach from your own TV. Sure, it's more programming options, but it's also movies on demand, video games, and PC online services faster than phone lines can deliver it. It's the future of television. How do I know? I have inside information.
Things are changing at Cablevision. Stay tuned.
25 years of excitement, 25 years of action, 25 years of champions. All the best moments are here on Silver Celebration, the perfect video for every college lacrosse fan. Silver Celebration captures all the greatest memories from the first 25 years of the NCAA Division I Lacrosse Championship. Just $19.99 plus shipping and handling. Call 913-339-1906 for your copy of Silver Celebration.
St. James Transmission guaranteed their price.
Lady, maybe you should take your car to St. James.
Hey, it happens. He's running a franchise with franchise fees to pay. That's why our prices are so high. St. James Transmission has been there forever. 6 months ago, this place was the pantyhose explosion.
With 25 years experience and the latest technology, St. James Transmission always guarantees a fair shake.
St. James Transmission will always be there. Next year, we could be a yogurt basket.
The Rink Summer Hockey School is the summer camp you've heard so much about. Whether you're a beginner or on your way, you'll learn on ice and off. Get specialized instruction from collegiate coaches, pro team scouts, international stars, and pro players right in your own backyard. Plus, full use of the Hidden Pond Park Sports Camp.
Make this a summer to remember. Join us at Hidden Pond Park.
Registration's limited, so call now.
Barry Landers along with Bob Rule. Second half about to start. Bob, take a look at the first half stats.
Well, the key thing there is shots. Hofstra might have 15 shots, but UMass has got quality shots. That's really the key. Look at saves. John Castellakis had a couple of real big saves. Mark Spruitt hasn't come up as big as he has in other games.
All right, we'll be back with second half action in just a moment. You're watching NCAA Lacrosse.
For the gold, the new Rebel G. Get the ultimate rush. Gotta go to Moe's. Gotta go to Moe's. Gotta go to Moe's. Yeah.
You got gotta go to Moe's for the new New York Rangers Liberty merchandise. T-shirts, hats, and jerseys featuring the Rangers' new Liberty logo is now available, and only at Modell's. Some items available at the Garden.
Gotta go to Moe's. Gotta go to Moe's, yeah. Gotta go to Moe's. Gotta go to Moe's.
We helped David Nolan with a pre-approved mortgage, which gave him the bargaining power to buy his family a bigger house with a lower bid. Chase Mortgage Pre-Approvals. They make every one of our 23 different mortgages even more valuable. Another way you're worth more at our bank. Chase, because the right relationship is everything.
Jeez. Barry Landers along with Bob Rule as we're back here, second half just underway here at Michie Stadium. Hofstra's played well in this field in the past, but lost earlier this year to Army, and it looked like that was going to be a crushing defeat as far as their playoff hopes are concerned. What do they got to do here in the second half?
Well, let's look through Army 6-2. I think they've scored 2 goals in 3 halves in lacrosse. I don't know what's wrong with the field here, but they can't put the ball in.
Well, they play on a turf. There shouldn't be a problem. It's a good field here.
Well, I think what they've got to do is come out of what I call their zone of comfort. And Mike Candela alluded to it before. They've got to take some chances on offense. There's a good chance right there. A dodge and a shot. That's what they've got to do.
Alexander with that last opportunity. And again, Mike Clark will put it in play, re-identify the lineup. Eisenhart, 13, playing on attack with Clark, number 1. And Clark going almost to the restraining line, trying to work against the defender here. He's got the short stick. Defensive midi Todd Sokolowski as the man he was playing. Bounce shot. They did try to bounce shot that time. And it was Jared Testo, or was it Tony Alexander, who took that last shot?
I think Tony Alexander, 36. That's what they got to do. They've gotten 2 good shots now in the first minute and a half of play.
Hofstra has got to take chances, as Bob Rule said. Mike Candela has joined us. Eisenhart working against the defender, trying to beat the short stick. He's got P.J. Massey. Good, another short stick defender out there. Now Langtree.
I might even try Mike Lorano. He's a big kid, and they're putting their short sticks behind. He may be able to power dodge some of their short stick middies who play behind.
Ultimately, if your best offensive play is Langtree, Alexander, and Judge can't get by anybody, and you have to go to your 4th or 5th attack man or offensive play, you're in trouble.
Quick outlet. Sokolowski will bring it down. Very popular captain. He's a real leader. Broken up in front. Hofstra looks for a little transition. Alexander picked it up, but we get a whistle. Let's go down the field to Jimmy Cavallo.
Well, Barry, Bob, and Mike, speaking to the Hofstra coaching staff, they talk about those chances that you guys speak of, and they got to start doing that in the second half. Plain and simple, they say, we have got to go to the goal. When they took a look at that first half, they say, anytime you give up 3 goals in a span of a couple minutes, you're going to be in trouble. And the bottom line is, what the Hofstra coaching staff left me with is we have 30 minutes left in our lacrosse lives. Let's go get it. Back upstairs.
Yeah, I think that's really important. They've got to, and they've got to prevent UMass from scoring any goals. They got to score a couple now to regain some momentum.
Glass trying to use his strength against Polanco, got doubled up. Good job, good save. Got a good shot off, but a good save by Stewart.
You saw Brendan Glass's quickness then. He really ran right away for a double, took a low shot. He should have bounced the ball, really, but still, good move by Glass.
Spruitt was right on it all the way, though.
Mike Candel, we heard comments relayed by Jimmy Cavallo. What do you think here Hofstra has to do also? Anything else in the second half here to get back in this game?
Yeah, it's like when you buy a house, they say location, location, location. They got to shoot, shoot, shoot.
Well, Kazalakis is a tough goal. Sometimes, although they certainly haven't had the shots, even though it's kind of misleading. It looks like 15 shots, but how many shots on goal?
But you know what? They got even if it's not great shots, take something, because you get a backup and you get a rebound. You got to do something to make things happen. If you wait for the perfect shot, you're going to take 2 of them all game.
Jankow will play it up top. Kadena off to Clark to the wing. Back to Clark. Cadena, how about the defense, Bob, of UMass?
Well, they're running 2 long sticks up top, which is a smart idea because they figured that that's where Hofstra's strength is. But then again, then you give it to your attackman behind as a short stick and let him try to dodge.
Cadena got the shot off. They had a backer, Testa. They'll retain possession.
That's what they've got to do. They
Not the best shot in the world, but it was a shot. You got to keep doing that.
And you never know, Mike. A deflection.
That's what I mean. A rebound, anything.
A rebound. A lot of things can happen, but they don't happen if you don't shoot.
Here's Clark. Remember, Hofstra didn't do a whole lot against UMass the last time these two clubs played, and came up with late goals to win that game 7-6. And that was on a cold day back in March at Hofstra. As a gust of wind almost blew us out of Michie Stadium. Checking to see if we're all here. And now the ball taken back by Kaselakis. And they'll look to clear across field. That was Greg McDonald, number 35, who got across field. Now they'll leg it down. UMass with possession. Hofstra trying to be a little more aggressive defensively as you watch Delgado chase his man deep. Have to be, as you said, a little more aggressive. He's got a tough man here. He'll sweep it back up top to Mike Del Percio. This is Chris Grande, number 1. As he works in the midfield with Chris Martins and Mike Del Percio, all 3 Long Islanders. Long Islanders have really hurt Hofstra. We mentioned Pat Marvin last year of Harvard had 6 goals in the playoff game, and in the Hopkins game, it was Garden City's kids really hurting him.
This game winds up 5-0. People are going to be asking who pitched.
Well, UMass, last 2 times they played Hofstra, lost in overtime, and lost the only Hofstra win in the playoffs in overtime back in '93. Oh, hard shot. Chris Grande beating Mark Spruitt. It's 6-0.
And you know what that starts with, though? The guy, the UMass shooter took a shot and went wide, got a rebound, he put the ball in.
And I think there was a deflection, Bob, off of Del Percio, 22. Just check.
Let's see the replay. Now, there it goes.
It's not a great shot, but he got a deflection.
Got it off, deflection. Now, Grande, watch this rocket down below. And it might have been deflected. It goes through Mark Spruitt's legs. But that's making the ball move around and getting some action on the ball.
9:57 remaining. So Hofstra had possession for most of this third quarter, came up empty, and UMass unassisted. Grande at 5:03 to make it a 6-0 game. And it has to be a shocker. We thought this was going to be a 1-goal, real close game. It possibly still could. But right now, UMass really controlling the game on the scoreboard. No question about it. Sun now shining here at Michie Stadium, and a gorgeous scene. Home of the West Point Cadets. Jack Emma, the coach here, another very popular coach. Hofstra needs something here. Eisenhart. No flag. We've had no extra man penalties here.
I'm sorry, Bob.
I was going to say, that tells me of a certain lack of aggressiveness when teams don't get a penalty. Neither team's got to play the whole game.
That's the first time Hofstra forced a turnover by UMass in a long time.
Exactly. And, you know, I was thinking when UMass got their 6th goal, in 5 of the last 6 games, Hofstra did not get more than 5 goals. They got 16 against Drexel and 5 or fewer in all the other games, so this does not bode well.
Nope. Alexander against Drum, gets doubled. On the crease, he was looking for his teammate, looking for Testa. Now up top, Alexander gets in, bounce shot, hit the pipe. Second pipe that it's hit. Waxer will drop it off for Kaselakis.
But, you know, Tony Alexander's really stepped it up a little bit. That's what he's got to do. Should have done it really from the first quarter.
I have not seen him like this since last year.
Yeah, Alexander had the great, only 13 goals this year. Last year, of course, Mike had 26, 39 points. He had an All-American type of year last year.
Yeah, he was. He was an All-American last year, right?
Yeah, third-team All-American, one of the 9 best midfielders in the country in Division I.
In fairness to him, he's had that separated shoulder this year, but it was nice to see that kind of dodging again.
Just identifying Barry Landers along with Mike Candell, the gentleman you last heard from, Newsday sports columnist and lacrosse writer, and Bob Rule, the former Cornell goaltender on their national championship team and current Manhasset coach, assistant coach under Alan Lowe.
This is a lot like a hockey game, like the jersey here.
You played hockey, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Bob was even a better hockey goalie, but Ken Dryden was there ahead of him.
He's not a bad goaltender. I think I was better, but I never got the chance.
Timing, Bob.
Yeah, timing is everything. He was wonderful.
And again, UMass with the ball, very patient team, leading 6-0. This is the 19th meeting between these two schools. Actually, the 20th meeting. Hofstra has won 11 times, UMass 8.
And a lot of real close games. Even the playoff game that UMass won, it was 9-8.
No, the Hofstra you won.
Yes, I'm sorry, Hofstra won.
That was on a Saturday night down at Hofstra. The only playoff win they've had in 8 tries. They're 1-7. And unless they can pull off a little bit of a miracle here in the remaining 22 minutes, Mike Candell, they're going to be 1-8.
I hate to say it so early, but I just can't see it happening because they do not put together goals quickly.
And again, against a very good defensive team, only giving up 7 goals a game and an excellent goaltender. That is tough.
But I will tell you, Barry, in 1984, Syracuse was down 7 goals, and they scored 8 goals in 8 minutes.
It's against Johns Hopkins, is that right?
Against Johns Hopkins, right.
That was before the Gate brothers, of course.
It was.
But it wasn't. Henry Chiccarone, the coach, thought it was one and started to put some of his reserves in. By the time he got his starters in again, momentum had changed.
Once again, a reminder, next Saturday at Hofstra, you'll see Princeton play the winner of this game. And, of course, it'll be Syracuse playing the winner of one of the games to be played down in Baltimore, and that'll be the Notre Dame Loyola winner. Mike will be coming up to Long Island, and it'll be a very festive day for Long Island lacrosse. I know even if Hofstra isn't it, we're looking forward to that day.
I'll bet they draw 10,000 people at least for those 2 games.
I say 13.
Okay, 11,500. We'll split it.
You know what? The truth is, it should be a sellout for the first time. You have with Syracuse, the kind of ball Syracuse plays, and Princeton's the top team in the country. Any Long Island fan who doesn't come out has to be nuts.
You know, it's funny, Mike. You know how I know? I teach 12-year-olds. They're all buzzing about next week already about going to the game. That's the real crowd, the bread and butter of the crowds.
Well, Long Island known for its great lacrosse. They're great players. They're great lacrosse fans. I was out at Ward Melville High School Friday night. They had almost 4,000 people for the Coca-Cola Classic. Ward Melville played Sachem, and Comstock played Stony Brook. It was just a great atmosphere, like a Friday night football night down in Texas somewhere. Crowd was great. The games were great. And I think it was great for lacrosse, Mike. I know you weren't there, but I tell you, we were buzzing in the press box there.
And also, that rivalry, Ward Melville Sachem, has evolved into, Bob may not like to hear this, but at this moment, maybe the best on Long Island. It certainly compares with Garden City and Manhasset, and it certainly compares with St. Anthony's and Chaminade.
This is Grande working it behind. They're going to call it a shot or a pass. It'll be called a shot. They'll retain possession.
How's this, Mike? We'll say it's the great rivalry of Suffolk County. How's that?
Well, Bob, you guys haven't discovered the Mason-Dixon line. You haven't crossed Route 110 yet.
Not too many times.
Except to go to Block Island.
Well, what makes it different, Bob, is that Ward Melville dominated for so long that to have a team come around and beat them really has created some intensity.
Well, I think that's great for the game. Seriously.
It is great for the game.
I say the same thing. I'd rather lose in 6 tough games than win 10 games by 20 goals.
Nick Rucco brings it down. Hofstra desperately needing something, trailing with 5 minutes to go 6-0.
But they're going to pull it out now. They're going to stop. They had a little something going. With 3-on-3, it's the same as 6-on-6.
They had their defensive midfield. They want to get Rucco and Langtree off. They've got to get their short sticks on.
I can't tell their defensive midfield.
I'm just going to say, Barry, that beats me.
Unfortunately.
Well, you know, Rich Langtree is as good as some of their guys with the short stick. Here's Jacob Rogers getting a bounce shot, blocked by the defense. Waxer, good job. But an errant pass trying to get the break.
Barry, I like the ball movement now. This is what Hofstra should have been doing from minute 1 of the first period. They were a little cautious. They lost momentum. Now they're coming out of the shell a little bit.
They've been shut out, gentlemen, for what? Almost 41
minutes.
41 minutes. That's amazing.
I said there's only been one shutout in NCAA history. That was that Washington Lee Cornell game back in, I think, in 1976.
Alexander got the shot off. Kazalakis handled it easily.
And John Catholick's very smooth in there, doesn't he? Making good saves, good stick saves, getting the ball upfield real quick.
A 6-goal lead does that to confidence, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Remember I said early, too, you make a save early, it builds your confidence. Mark Spruitt gave up 2 quick goals, and all of a sudden you climb in an uphill battle.
Judge bounces off the check, big and strong at 6'4", 210.
Goalies have very delicate psyches.
Paul Judge has been the hot guy for Hofstra of late, coming up with some big goals against Hopkins in North Carolina.
Now look at this, a short stick where he's really isolated. You got to go for the goal.
The thing was, they didn't look at it. It's not that he didn't go. He didn't even take a look.
That's right.
I think it's part of, again, that mentality, that offensive mentality that they have.
Here's
now.
another one. Langtree has a short stick. Let's see if he goes. Well, he's going at least.
Brian Langtree working against the short stick of P.J. Massey, number 21. Massey stays with Langtree as he inverts. Up top to Judge, who has that hard left-handed shot. He's got the long pole on him now. Working against Greg McDonald. Again, it's a very good UMass defense. They don't get a whole lot of mention, but two of the players from Long Island, Waxer from East Meadow, Drum, of course, from Ward Melville. We've been talking about Joe Cuso's great club. Langtree will back it out here with 3:05 to go against the short stick of Massey. Massey, good position here defensively. Langtree gets in. Bounces it, but it was deflected as he bounced it.
But Barry, that's the move. I mean, he really made an effort to go to the goal. He gets the short stick, and he got a chance to get a pretty good shot off.
You know, Bob, the one thing is this, though. It is good to take a short stick on, but, you know, it's not like for a generation, attackmen didn't beat people with long sticks.
Right.
You can go at a long stick, too.
You're right. You're right. Especially up top, we have more room to maneuver.
Tony Alexander shot it high, actually a pass. Bounce shot. Goes wide again. They had a backer.
Well, I like the ball movement now, though.
He dodged, he drew two defenders, got a shot, got a backup, got another shot.
And that was the key, the backup, which unsettles the defense a little bit. It was a good play.
Jared Testa with that last shot. A little tough from up here. We're about 9 miles in the sky to pick up the numbers.
Look, the birds are below us. They fly below us up here.
They may be landing planes. It's a gorgeous setting, though.
Yeah.
I want to thank Mike Albright, the fine people here at Army, for their hospitality. Kazalakis knocked it down, and a crease violation will be called as Jared Testa got into the crease. So Kazalakis, who can make the spectacular save, hasn't been really forced, Bob, to make any of those kind of saves
had
today.
one great save down here, I think, in the second quarter. But look, he's doing the job. He hasn't given up a goal. He's cleared the ball. He's made no mistakes. Doing a very good job, playing with a lot of confidence.
Well, he comes up to midfield and helps out the clears. He got it to Massey.
Testa
29.
almost got a stick on that.
That happened in last night's game. The brilliant goaltender for Stony Brook, the young goaltender, Derek Kenny, made a big mistake, and that turned out to be one of the mistakes in a 7-6 game. As he got trapped near midfield, lost the ball, they had an empty net to shoot at, and Kamsawag made him pay.
Yeah, unfortunately, Barry, I get the feeling, the way Hofstra's playing offense today, that if the net was empty, they settle it up first.
Well, it's like the New Jersey Devils playing offense here against the Rangers in the playoffs. They just can't score.
Look what's happening to them.
And right now, they'll swing it around. Hope you enjoyed the action here. Barry Landers along with Bob Rule and Mike Candell. If you're a Hofstra fan, not enjoying it very much. They trail 6-0, 1:15 to go. Third quarter. Rogers swung it around. Here's Clark. Up top. Rogers given room by Massey. This is Jankow.
Got to go on that guy.
You've got guys out here that total 10 goals for the entire midfield out here. There's not a whole lot of offense out here, gentlemen. I mean, there's no history of scoring, and they don't seem to have the confidence to take it to the cage. Kazalakis had the positioning on Godina's tough angle shot. Scramble for the ball to the far side. Clark diving there. And let's see who's going to get the ball here. Going to be a push, loose ball push. And it'll stay in the hands of Hofstra, Bob, with 40 seconds to go.
Well, let's see if they can get a couple more shots. They're shooting a little bit more, but still not real great quality shots.
Up now, top to Rogers. Jankow. Pass off the stick of Eisenhart, and they turn it over.
I thought they passed up 2 shots.
Yep. I thought Rogers had a good shot right up front. And you got a screen. You got the defensive players screening for you.
Try to cheap clear here, and Costello will come up with the bounce. Now, off, they'll work it. Sushi. They haven't had possession. The game's been in the other half of the field, yet who's got the only goals?
Yep.
And that has, of course, been UMass, as they have the only goal this half. Glass with a hard shot. Good stop by Sprue. Time will run out as he throws it downfield. And after 3 quarters, the Hofstra Flying Dutchmen are trailing the Minutemen in a shocker, 6-0. Remember, these two clubs, the last two times they played, it was a 1-goal overtime victory for Hofstra. Bob, it looks like a tough road, and Greg Canella's club doing everything right.
Well, I got it. If I'm the Hofstra coach, I'm saying you got to let it all hang out. Let it all hang out right now. Whenever you get an opportunity, go to the goal rather. You've got to take advantage of every quality shot.
All right, we'll be back with fourth quarter action. After 3, it's UMass 6, Hofstra nothing. We'll return in just a moment. Today's NCAA lacrosse game, happy to bring it to you with UMass winning right after 3 quarters, 6-0 over Hofstra. Barry Landers along with Mike Candell of Newsday and Bob Rule, Asset High School coach, as we get ready for the face-off. And you're looking at Brendan Glass, Lacrosse Unlimited. Happy to bring you all the action here on this beautiful Saturday afternoon at Mikey Stadium. Gorgeous setting. Home of the Cadets, coached by Jack Emma, and by the New York Saints. The New York Saints, the major indoor lacrosse league. And I want to thank Hillary Hartung and all the fine folks at the Nassau Coliseum for supporting Hofstra Sports. They do a great job there. And Saints, of course, they had the premier goalie, the Rinks. One of our fine advertisers, Jerry Hart, the complete recreation center on Long Island as well. But talking about great goaltenders, one of the all-time great goaltenders from UMass out of Long Island, Sal Locascio. Speaking of Long Island, the Long Island Rough Riders soccer team getting underway May 25th with their home opener at Hofstra University. Good luck to the Rough Riders. We'll have a lot of games on Cablevision's LISN. And Elite Sports Medicine and Rehab, another one of our fine sponsors, Dr. Frank Segreto and his crew, Mark Rodman out there in Ronkonkoma. But that goaltender I was going to talk to you about, Bob Rule, a guy that has been starring on the world teams, and that is Sal Locascio. What a goaltender he was.
You know, he's a big guy, and he has got the record, the all-time NCAA save record of 921 saves in his 4-year career.
Yeah, he's a great goaltender who's played in the indoor league for a long time.
Sal takes up a lot of space. He would have been like me if I.
Of course, we were talking about successful as the shot by Judge is deflected. Ball, P.J. Judge off to Langtree. Hofstra with a minute and a half gone. Good low shot this time by Eisenhardt. Scramble for the ball. It's outside the crease, now in the crease.
Get up, John. Get up.
John Gazalakis battling for the possession. And Hofstra's going to get it now.
Yeah, John covered the ball. He had an opportunity to get up. If you cover it, delay a game, they give the ball to the offense.
You know what's amazing, Barry? We're a minute and a half into the fourth quarter. Massachusetts has 6 goals. Can you imagine if you only had 6 goals in the fourth quarter and you're up 6?
in a lacrosse game.
In a lacrosse game.
At this level.
Alexander tries the bounce shot, knocked down in front.
You know, if Hofstra had been doing this all game long,
we'd have a game.
Absolutely.
Because their luck could change a little bit. A ball would go by them, a deflection or whatever.
All right, Sokolowski brought it down. And now they could take some time off the clock with a 6-0 lead. UMass in control here. They lost their last time they were in the playoffs a couple of years ago in '95. They lost to Princeton and haven't won a game in the playoffs since 1989. It's their 9th appearance in the last 12 years. First under Dick Garber and more recently under Greg Cannella.
I think they've only won twice in 14 games, and Cannella led them to one of them.
Yeah. Jay Negus swings it around. Let's go down to the field right now. And standing by our colleague, it's Jimmy Cavallo with the great Cornell University coach Richie Moran. Let's go to them now.
Well, gentlemen, there aren't too many guys you can call the dean of their respective sport, but this man is certainly one of them. Richie Moran, head coach of Cornell University with 29 years. Richie, good to see you. And first of all, are you shocked at what's going on right here, 6-0 at this point in time?
Not really. Mass has tremendous defensive potential. They did some great things against Syracuse early at 9-4 about 3 games ago, and they played Brown very tough last week. They have an excellent defense, and that's what you're seeing out here. And Hofstra's got a little frustrating their shooting. They've had a lot of great shots on cage. The goaltender from Massachusetts come up with some big saves and tough defense. That's going to give you a 6-0 score.
You're a guy who won 4 national titles at Cornell. When you get to this second season, the playoffs, is it just a matter of turning it up a notch, or do you employ a different philosophy?
Well, it's obvious it's during exam time too, so you got a complicated situation here. You got to make sure that you're doing the right things for the student athlete and preparing for exams, and then give them a little rest and get them ready for the playoffs. And the nice thing about it, the focus is really tremendous. Your second season is unbelievable focus because you know 1 game and out. But if you win 120 minutes of lacrosse, you could be the national champion.
You know, talking about national champions, one of the guy you had in between the pipes was our own Bob Rule. We know he's good color analysis. Break down his goalkeeping.
Well, Bob was a very steady goalie. In fact, 1971, we played right here. And Bob, unfortunately, had a knee problem, which he got in the Princeton game before the end of the season. And the tough deal is that he didn't have an opportunity to compete the whole season with us, but he did a great job for us and got us to the championships. His ability to save the balls coming at the cage was great. He was a very good position goalie and a top-notch passer out of the cage.
All right, not bad. Thank you, Coach, for stopping by. We'll send it back up to the booth to that man, Bob Rule and Barry Lynn.
All right, very classy Coach Richie Moran, and nice things to say about you,
Coach,
Bob Rule.
Thank you, Coach. I'll tell you one story. We came up to play here. He took a picture of Patton and pasted his picture over Patton's face and said something about, "We are here." Patton, we're here.
Bob Rule, I had the pleasure of going up to Cornell a few weeks ago to watch Cornell play Princeton and visit my son Greg, who happens to be the manager of the Cornell lacrosse team. And Richie Moran, of course, has done a nice job. Nice pick-off by Langtree, Rich Langtree, going to the hole and scoring! And Hofstra finally on the board. It wasn't his brother Brian, the offensive midfielder. It was the defensive midfielder, Rich Langtree, to score.
It took the defense to score.
It took a defensive. But, you know, it's the more aggressive play, right, Mike? It's a more aggressive play. You would circle something here. Let's see the replay. Intercepts the pass on the clear. Comes out, takes a good bounce shot. It's very hard for goalie to gauge when a defenseman is shooting. That's what happened then. But I noticed Mike Hindell had circled something for the third quarter. Shots, Hofstra 13, UMass 3. Hofstra came alive.
Well, they had possession, and they knew they had to fire the ball. The only way you're going to score, obviously, it's not brain surgery. You
got to shoot.
You got to shoot the ball.
But, you know, it's other thing, too, Barry. It's quality shots. They've got to get good shots off.
All right, here's Langtree trying again off the face-off. Got a good shot off, but missed. Did they get enough backup?
Yeah,
yes, they did.
That's a nice play by Testa. He really gave his body up to get that ball back.
And there's something, John Cat, they were both diving. It looked like I'd give them about an 8.5.
So here we go. Hofstra fans coming alive. Many of the Booster Club here and supporting the team coming up from Long Island, hoping to get something to cheer about. Mike Lorano in the game for the first time, I believe. The young attackman, number 11, trying to work against Sokolowski. Got the shot off.
See, that's the thing. He's a big kid. He can hide his stick pretty well against a short stick, all right? Play Mike Lorano.
6'5", 205, and that's something that Hofstra really lacks, except Paul Judge. He had Lorano, the only real big physical kind of guys they have.
But I like Mike Lorano in that play.
Well, the thing is that he's able to hold his ground. He can get it and hold it. Even if he doesn't beat anybody, and he can take the shot from there.
Remember, he had 2 big goals in the Hopkins game. Hofstra looking to get something going. Here they score! Eisenhardt to make it a 6-2 game. So Eisenhardt coming with the goal. The little guy, Eisenhardt, at 5'8" out of Boys Latin, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I beg your pardon. Let me check that. Eisenhardt out of Pittsford, New York, coming up with the goal, and timeout taken. Hofstra very emotional, as we see on the replay here, Bob.
Now watch this. He just comes around and just outright beats him, takes a good low left-hand shot. Now, you know what I'll tell you again? He beat a short stick coming around. That's what Hofstra's got to do.
You know, there's an interesting thing here. It's a little too early to say this, but Massachusetts has let some fourth-quarter leads go, and I'm be curious to see if they lose confidence here.
Timeout. We'll be right back. Hofstra trailing UMass. You find me the Hofstra page of the story. Barry Landers along with Bob Rule and ready to go here with Mike Candell. Mike, funny what a goal will do for a team. 6-2. Hofstra within 4 here. A lot of time left. 9:44.
There's a little noise on the Hofstra side of the stands now too, which could help a little bit.
So here we go. Off the face-off, it's won cleanly by Jay Robbins, but Hofstra aggressively, Joe Godina will steal it away. Hofstra on the transition. Their fans coming alive.
You know what I like, though? When you're aggressive, good things start to happen. That happened then. Actually, the face-off man, Robbins, that won it clean, just fell down, and Godina took it away from him.
Eisenhardt's goal was his 6th of the year to bring Hofstra within 4. Remember, they trailed earlier in the season against UMass, so as we get a whistle here, and a procedure, officials stopping play here. We have no extra mans, which is very unusual in a game so far.
It shows a lack of aggressiveness almost defensively. They're kind of laid back kind of defense here.
But it also shows that the offenses are spreading and just passing the ball in a circle.
Nobody's driving to force a...
Right.
I don't remember the last time I saw a game where neither team had an extra man situation.
It's not even a 30-second penalty.
Nothing.
Clark swings it behind. Eisenhardt couldn't handle the low pass. That's a key possession to come up empty, gentlemen.
And it's a little thing. Low pass, get your body in front of it, knock it down, then pick it up. You didn't do it.
There really is still a lot of time, but not if they settle it up.
Yeah, if they take 2 minutes off the clock every possession, and certainly they're capable of doing with their patient offense. Now they'll work it behind. McKeefrey got it behind. Good check on the far side by Hofstra. Trying to come up with it. It'll go out of bounds. Perhaps no, they keep it in. Delgado, it's 43, battling for Hofstra. Getting help now from Polanco. And Hofstra will get it off the turnover.
Look at that aggressiveness. That's what Hofstra lacked the first half. I like that. They're going out and playing the guy tough and making things happen.
Bothers me a little bit, though, Bob. For 3 quarters, they just seem to be cruising, and they've clearly turned it up a notch or 2.
About 2 minutes ago.
You can't do that in an NCAA game. You got to come out like that from the gun.
Ryan Grimes up now to P.J. Judge. He's capable of getting some goals quickly. He's got the cannon shot. Judge out of Kellenberg High School on Long Island. Michael Lorano will take Sokolowski behind again with a short stick, Mike.
Let's see if he takes it to the cage.
Lorano at 6'5", 's got the good size. Not a great open field player because he doesn't have great speed.
Look at how the other guys are standing around. That's really, one guy gets it, everybody else
Not a lot of
around.
cutting, not a lot of ball movement here. Now Langtree trying to beat the defender as he works against number 43, Soprokaska, who's a Long Island kid out of Farmingdale. Eric Soprokaska, the short, long pole defensive biddy. They got it upfield. Waxer, the defender, with the long pole. Waxer doesn't know what to do. Help! And he'll dump it back toward midfield. Sokolowski's got it.
See, if I were UMass here, I wouldn't sit on it, even though it's 6-2. I mean, they've stopped being aggressive.
How often do you see that happen, Bob? You said playing not to lose. You've got a big lead.
No, the interesting thing, too, Barry, it'll carry on to the next game. You can't do this. You go against a Princeton where they can score 25 goals against you. You can't play this kind of game and expect to win.
Well, Bill Tierney of Princeton is here among the many college coaches watching today's game. Princeton will play the winner of this game. Of course, Syracuse will play the winner of the Loyola Notre Dame game. Both games at Hofstra next week, Saturday afternoon, 12 and 3.
Just look closely. Everybody is standing still.
A goal by UMass now could be a killer, so Hofstra's got to prevent that. We'll get a whistle.
All right.